Today we will discuss linear congruences. So linear congruences are more useful when we want to solve a congruence. Here solving congruences means if suppose congruence is given of the form Ax congruent to B mod m. Here we want to find x. Then the method to find x is we will use Euclidean algorithm and we will go in reverse order such that we come across a value which will be giving that value mod m as 1. That value will be treated as the inverse and that inverse will give us the value of x. Means here when Ax is congruent to B mod m is given, such type of congruences need solution as x value is not known. So in that case we use Euclidean algorithm backward steps to find inverse modulo m. So inverse modulo m, whatever we get, that will be multiplied on both sides and we get the solution for the x. Now to solve any congruences, this Fermat's little theorem will be useful. So we will see what is the statement of Fermat's little theorem. See, this is studied in elementary number theory. The Fermat's little theorem states that if p is a prime and a is an integer not divisible by p, then a power p minus 1 is congruent to 1 mod p. Means here a and p are relatively prime if we are having, then a power p minus 1 is congruent to 1 mod p, as well as this can also be written as a power p congruent to a mod p. Means if we multiply, if we assume that a is multiplied, then it will be a power p congruent to a mod p. Now we will see what is meant by linear congruences. A linear congruence is of the form Ax congruent to B mod m. Here x is a variable, a and b are positive integers and m is also an integer. See here m is positive, a and b are integers, may be positive or may be negative depending on the problem. So such type of congruence is called as a linear congruence. See, congruences are needed whenever we need any remainder after dividing two integers. So when such congruence with variable is there, it is said to be linear congruence. Here the same thing as we have seen solving a congruence. Linear congruence will be solved by taking the inverse. Generally inverse means a into a bar is congruent to 1 mod m, means this a bar is called as the inverse. Here when we are having Ax congruent to B mod m, if suppose a and m are relatively prime and m is greater than 1, then inverse of modulo m exists. So when these two are relatively prime, in that case inverse exists, and when inverse exists it is easier to solve a linear congruence. And generally the inverse is unique modulo m. See, inverses may be many, but there is only one inverse which is less than m. So that means this inverse is unique. And one more thing is that when a and m are relatively prime, means GCD of a comma m is equal to 1. If we use Euclidean algorithm. So Euclidean algorithm is nothing but we are finding the factors one by one and it will be expressed in the form a equal to bq plus r. So reversing these steps we can find a linear combination. So starting with the given a value ending with 1, if we go reverse order we come across such a linear combination SA plus TM equal to 1, where A and M are from this A congruent to B mod M. Now here SA plus TM equal to 1, where S and T are integers. So reducing this, both sides the equation, both sides of this equation modulo M tells us that S is the inverse of A modulo M. So whenever we come across a linear combination SA plus TM equal to 1, S is treated as inverse of A, and here S and T are called as the base out coefficients of A and M. Means here whenever we want to solve a linear congruence, we use Euclidean algorithm and we form a linear combination of the form SA plus TM equal to 1. S is treated as the inverse. Once we get the inverse, solution is possible. Here S and T are called as the base out coefficient. So we will illustrate this using one example. Now we will see example. Here find inverse of 3 modulo 7. We know that GCD of 3 and 7 is 1. So this implies inverse of 3 mod 7 exists. So we will use Euclidean algorithm. We can write 7 equal to 2 into 3 plus 1. This can be written as minus 2. If we take it this side, minus 2 into 3 plus 1 into 7 equal to 1. This is of the form SA plus TM equal to 1, which implies minus 2 and 1 are the base out coefficient. So therefore we can say that minus 2 is inverse of 3 mod 7. Now if we are using another example, say if we are having find an inverse of 101 mod 4620. Here we know that GCD of these two integer is 1. Now we will use Euclidean algorithm. 4620 divided by 101. It will be of this form. Means A is divided by B. Here Q is quotient, R is remainder. Next time to this quotient we divide by R, we get B1 Q1 plus R1. And again next Q1 equal to we get B2 Q2 plus R2. And here this Q1 is divided by R1. Next time Q3 is divided by R3 and so on. So here 4630 is divided by 101. We get 45 quotient, 75 remainder. Next 101 is divided by 75, 26 is remainder. Again 75 is divided by 26, 23 is remainder. Next 26 is divided by 23, 3 is remainder. Next 23 is divided by 3, 2 is remainder. 3 is divided by 2, 1 is remainder. And here this we will use. We can write 1 equal to 3 minus 1 into 2. Now 3 minus 1 into 2 equal to 1. Now 1 into 2, from the above we will go in reverse order. From the Euclidean algorithm we go in reverse order. 2 equal to 23 minus 7 into 3. If we simplify, we can write minus 1 into 23. Here 1 into 3, 7 into 3. We get 8 into 3. Again 3 is replaced by here 3 equal to 26 minus 1 into 3. We substitute it. We get 8 into 26 as it is. Here minus 1 and here minus 8. We get minus 9. Then 23 we will replace by 75 minus 2 into 26. Then we get minus 9 into 75 plus here 8 into 26 and plus 18 into 26 we get 26 into 26. Again 26 is replaced by 101 minus 1 into 75. Next 75 is replaced by 4630 minus 45 into 101. So lastly we get 1 equal to minus 35 into 4630 plus 1601 into 101. Now this is of the form SA plus TM equal to 1. Where A is we are having 101, M is we are having 4630, and here coefficients are minus 35, 1601. Therefore 1601 is the inverse of 101 mod 4620. So this is the method to find the inverse. Now suppose a linear congruence is given. For example, suppose 3x is congruent to 4 mod 7 is there. Then here by example 1 already we know that the inverse of 3 is minus 2. So multiply both side by minus 2. We get minus 2 into 3x equal to, congruent to minus 2 into 4 mod 7. We get minus 6 congruent to minus 8 mod 7. Means we can say that minus 8 will be the x value. But suppose we want positive value, again this minus 8 is divided by 7. We want a positive value, so it will be 6. So we can say that x will be equivalent to minus 8 congruent to 6 mod 7. So this implies x may be 6. So how x may be 6? If we substitute x value as 6 in this congruent, 3 into 6 means 18. 18 is divided by 7, 4 is the remainder. Means here x equal to 6 satisfy the given congruent. So other values which satisfy the given congruent are 13, 20. Means if we add 7 to this, we will get the next values. 6 plus 7, 13. 13 plus 7, 20. So on. So these are the solutions for this linear congruence 3x congruent to 4 mod 7. Now next we will go to the next topic. Next topic we are having this Chinese remainder theorem. Chinese remainder theorem states that if we are having m1, m2, so on, mn be pairwise relatively prime positive integers, means we are having n relatively prime positive integers greater than 1, and if we are having a1, a2, so on, an are any arbitrary integers, then if we are having a system of congruences, say x is congruent to a1 mod m1, x is congruent to a2 mod m2, x is congruent to a3 mod m3, so on, x is congruent to an mod mn, then this system has a unique solution over the modulo m, where m is the product of m1, m2, so on, mn. Means when we are having system of congruences with modulo m values such that these are relatively prime, in that case it has a one solution x value on the modulo m, where m is a product of these values. Now we will see how to solve it. So this is the Chinese remainder which says that there is a one solution, but how to find the solution? So to find the solution or to solve a problem, what we do is first we find m. M is nothing but it is the product of k number of modular values. If we are having k congruences, then we define capital Mi as m by small mi. Means to this product we divide by m1, m2, so on, and we denote that as capital M1, capital M2, so on. So when we are dividing by m1, m2, so on, so it will be a value which is prime to mi, because it is not having mi in this one. Small mi is not there, that's why capital Mi and small mi are always co-prime, because common term already we are dividing. Now to find the solution, we use Bezout's identity such that there exists small ni and capital Ni such that mi ni plus small mi ni equal to 1. It means capital Ni is treated as inverse of small mi. So if we find ni, then we get the solution. Solution is x equal to summation of I equal to 1 to k ai mi ni, where capital Mi, capital Ni. Means for each congruent we find capital Ni and we take a product of these three, which will give us the solution. Now we will illustrate this method with one example. Suppose there is a problem given, use Chinese remainder to solve three congruences given as x is congruent to 3 mod 4, x is congruent to 2 mod 3, x is congruent to 4 mod 5. Here we can say that a1 is 3, 2, 4, a2 is 2, a3 is 4, m1 is 4, m2 is 3, m3 is 5. We find m. product of m1, m2, m3, we get 60. Next we find capital M. M by small m1, 60 by 4, 15, 60 by 3, 20, 60 by 5, 12. Now our aim is to find capital N1, capital N2, capital N3. So it means we have to solve Mi, Ni is congruent to 1 mod Mi. That is 15 N1 is congruent to 1 mod 4, 20 N2 is congruent to 1 mod 3, 12 N3 is congruent to 1 mod 5. This we have to solve. So we use again a Euclidean algorithm that here M1 is we are having 4. 4 can be written as 1 into 3 plus 1. Means we express this Euclidean algorithm such that we should have 1 equal to. So 4 can be written as 1 into 3 plus 1, by which we write 1 into 3 plus 4 into 1. This is of the form SA plus TM form. So here we can say that inverse of 4 is 3. Similarly, inverse of 3 we get 2, inverse of 5 we get 2. Therefore, solution is summation I equal to 1 to 3 AI capital Mi capital Ni. We get 3 into 3 into 15, 2 into 2 into 20, 4 into 2 into 12. So totally we get x equal to 263 and this is the solution. Now we will verify whether it is a solution or not. If we take 263 is congruent to 3 mod 4, is it true? If we divide 263 by 4, we get to 4, 6 are 24, 23 we get, 4, 5 are 20, we get 3. Means here 3 is the remainder, means x equal to 263 satisfies these 3 congruences, hence the solution. So this completes the Chinese remainder.